Welcome to another studio build video. We have been making great progress. As you can see, we've got all the drywall in here. And since the last video, we have actually finished the second layer here in the studio. I might show you a little time lapse of that right now before I introduce what I'm doing today.
So first off, here is one of the sheets in the doorway between the office and the studio. I learned some really helpful stuff in this process. For one, when you're cutting drywall, you actually don't have to cut through the paper. Just scoring the paper is enough. And I also learned that you can use a tape measure to be a guide for rip cuts like this one that you just saw. So now we're getting the piece fitted into place, cutting out the hole for the light box there. I'm going to have a cool light above the door that says recording now or something like that I can turn on from the studio room. And you also saw me put a little bit of acoustic sealant around that light box up there, just an added layer of acoustic protection. And here is the green glue, second layer of drywall going up on the studio wall with green glue. And this piece was a little tight on top, so I had to trim it. And then I brought my wife in to help me push it up into place while I fastened it. It felt really great to get the second layer completely done in the studio. And it also felt really good to finish the drywall in the office.
So today, I'm working on this lonely little section here, and you might wonder, why haven't you finished this yet? What's this stuff up on the wall? Well, let me flip the camera and explain that to you a little bit. So, I don't know if you can tell on the video very well, but there is a big dip right here, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it has to do with the framing on this wall here, or if it just has to do with this post here, or if it has to do with the framing above the door. Anyway, I don't know what the deal is, but let me see if I can show you. When I put the level on the wall, we have a big gap over here. So we're gonna put in some shims. That's what this is. This is some Luan. It's 1/4 inch Luan. I think it's actually 3/16. We're gonna try to shim it up. Put a shim behind that piece there, and up here, and see if we can't level that out just a little bit. So we'll do some time lapse, and I'll maybe pause and narrate a little bit as needed.
So, in case I didn't explain it very clearly, right in the corner there, the last foot or 2 feet, that wall bumps out into the room, especially up at the top of the wall there, maybe 2 inches or more. So I needed to create a gentle slope that would hide that big bump.
Wanted to take a little break from the time lapse and show you this. It's kind of ugly, but I think it's gonna hold. I had to put in all those extra screws to get it down to where it needed to be, but it stopped creaking. You can kind of hear it cracking and crackling when it's, when it's kind of bent or whatever. Under the force of those screws. Back here you can see I ended up adding 3 layers down here. I was planning on only adding 2. 2 is what I added at the top there. And I actually maybe could have used 4. Or maybe I needed to extend my 3rd layer up a little farther, but that's okay. We're gonna mud over it, and I think it'll be okay. And wow, you can just see that gap. It's really incredible. And again, I don't know why it's there. I don't know what happened. But I'm gonna continue filling this in as we get farther down. I think I don't don't think I'll need 3 layers all the way down. But we're gonna keep filling it in and screwing it up.
So what we did with these shims is that we used them to provide support under the right-hand sheet as we bent it down towards the wall, and support under the left-hand sheet, or at least the right edge of it, as we lifted it out away from the wall. And so these two sheets, one bending down and one bending out, kind of met in the middle to help bridge that bump.
Well, that's it. I think it's gonna be okay. You know, as I've said in some of these videos, I think, I don't really know what I'm doing here. A lot of this stuff is stuff I've never done or haven't done very much. I have definitely never had to shim out a piece of drywall like this before. But it seems like it's holding. Seems like it's gonna be good. And let me flip the camera and show you real quick. Again, I don't think you can tell on the video. Maybe you can tell a little bit. But I think it looks pretty good. I feel like we've minimized some of the bump there. And I think it's gonna be good. So thanks for watching. I guess our next video is gonna have to do with the mudding and taping process. Yeah, appreciate your support and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.